Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Christine Pircher,
And this is Elmar,
and we are organizational consultants.
and we are a husband and wife for 19 years now.
Yeah. So in our professional life, we help organizations to collaborate creatively, and
In our private life, we love to organize great parties. So
so that's not what we are going to talk about now, at least not for now. But now we're going to show you how you can get from shame to creative collaboration. And shame to creative collaboration. So what we do when we do projects with organizations is that we work on how the people relate to each other there. And we very often find that there is one big hurdle to creative collaboration, and that is if there is a culture of shame.
and if you have a culture of shame, the people do not get in touch with each other. They don't bring in their ideas, and they really use a lot of time of fighting about the status.
So let's examine the concept of shame. It is essentially the fear of disconnection. And there are two sentences that are relevant when you talk about shame. You might actually say these sentences, or more often they're kind of the subtext to what we say or how we act. And the first sentence is
I'm not good.
not good enough.
I'm not good enough. And why saying I'm not good enough, there starts the feeling of
Despair.
the feeling of despair in my stomach, and my neck gets stiff, and it doesn't feel very nice. But there is the second sentence as well, and the second sentence is, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to decide what is right or wrong? Who do you think you are to raise your voice in this group if you don't speak the language properly? Who do you think you are that you have no experience and want to tell us anything?
So, not a really nice feeling that we all know. So, let's talk about creative collaboration. What do we mean by that? It's essentially a couple of people from diverse backgrounds come together and they form a team.
And they speak openly about their differences and discuss their conflict.
And in the end, they have a shared result that they have accomplished together. So that's what we think is creative collaboration.
How do you get from this culture of shame to this culture of creative collaboration?
There are a couple of steps. The first one is you need to reflect together. So you have to think, what do I actually need? How do I feel in a situation? And then you share this and you talk about your communication and improve the way you communicate.
You have to find out what is my room to move and which goals do I have and which constraints do I have to take care of and which rules I need to know.
And when you know that, you start to take action. First, small steps that help you build energy, and then you get going.
And then you have to get people into this project and into this idea, and you start to build connections. And you find the people you think that are helpful or inspiring, or they can teach you something, or you can teach them something, and you build on each other's ideas.
And when you work together creatively and you have some bold project, it can happen that tensions arise. At least most of the times it even happens that tensions arise. And so what you need to do is to embrace the tensions. Our natural tendency is to avoid that, but our experience shows it helps to embrace it and address it.
And on the way, it's necessary and important to address shame whenever it shows up, because otherwise that won't happen.
So these are our basic concepts here, a lot of concepts for the beginning. And now we are going to explain this with an example of our real life.
And we tried to find an example that is most important for us, and it's about our most important client, right?
Yep. And that's this guy. That's our son, Mattis.
And the project is about his birthday party, his 6th birthday party.
And the whole thing starts actually with shame. So you say,
This birthday party has to be perfect because I do not have time for him enough anyway.
Yeah.
And you say?
And I say that we have so much work to do at the moment that I don't really see how we are going to do this at all. So you say?
Let's get that started anyway. I put some to-dos in our shared to-do list.
Which is always a good thing to do. At least not here, because the weeks pass and nothing really happens, and I tend to postpone these to-dos in our to-do list. So after a while, we realize it's a good point in time to start with reflecting together.
Yeah.
So what we do then is think about, what do I actually need? How do I feel about the situation? What does the other person need and feel about this situation? We share that, and
you listen to it with an open heart and try to understand what is going on with the other persons.
So what we do in the conversation is going sort of like this. You say,
why do you postpone the items according to Matti's birthday party from week to week? And you say,
yeah, I can sense that you're getting angry already. Yeah, is that true? So you say,
yay, because I need you into this, because it's so important for me, and I have really a guilty conscience because not having time. So he says,
I say, yeah, I can relate to that, because I'm not feeling good, because I feel like I'm not a good father and maybe even not a good husband also. So I guess that might be the reason why I also didn't bring that up or pushed it away. So you say,
I say, okay, you're a good father and a good husband. So he says,
and I actually like to do parties with you, and we have done some really amazing parties, I tell you. So maybe we just start with establishing our room to move.
Yeah, and the room to move is all the goals and constraints and everything you need about the structure you have to take care of.
Okay. So what does our most important client in this project really want?
He totally wants a Harry Potter party.
Okay. So and what are time constraints?
It takes place at the 25th of December because this is his birthday.
Yeah. And what is the quality that is expected?
Since it is the 25th of December, it has to differ from Christmas as much as possible.
Okay. And our budget constraints?
There are no budget constraints because it's our son and it's his birthday, and so.
Okay. Okay. So we start to take action, right? Yeah. Which is our next step. And you don't start with the entire cathedral at once. You start with the first brick, right? So you start with small actions at the beginning that help you build up energy, and that also give you the possibility to let yourself fail in the beginning and start again and try out stuff. So what could be our first action in this?
What brings energy in this project? Let's talk about the characters we want to choose for us.
Okay, what character would you play?
I choose Dobby the house elf.
Okay.
That's totally mine, yeah.
And it really fits, as you will see.
I'm convinced about it. And what's your character?
I'm going to be Severus Snape. I always wanted to be the mean guy.
Yeah, it fits as well, yeah.
Okay, so what else do we have to do?
Oh, we have to think about the guest list. We have to think about the other characters. We have to organize the costumes. We have to do the decoration. We need a birthday cake in the shape of Hogwarts Castle. We need a Hogwarts Express.
Okay, so,
we need
we really need a lot.
beans.
Stop here. And we're going to need a lot of creativity with this. So we are not going to be able to do this just by ourselves.
We need to find our team.
Okay. We come to the next step, which is building connections with others that help us and that create and people who create collaboratively with us. And these people, they need to know why are they in this project, why are they needed there, and so we have to think about that, and then we have to tell them, and then they bring in their ideas, and like it's brick for brick, building the cathedral, we build on each other's ideas, and that's how the whole thing starts to happen. Yeah. So who are these people?
So first we call our eldest daughter Marie, because she's an artist and she's really creative, and she even knows how to handicraft all that stuff. We really need her.
And then we have a second daughter also. Her name is Florentina, and she's a total Harry Potter addict and knows almost every single detail about the whole story. And she always wanted to be Hermione Granger, the character, so it's perfect for her to be in this.
And she is the cake maker. So
that too.
And we need our co-worker Christina, because she is the best one to find weird stuff in the internet and to take care that it really comes in the right time. So we need her. So we build connections and form our team and form our network.
Okay. And the next step then is to embrace tensions. And why is this now, how is this now happening? So picture yourself, time has passed a little bit, and it's the 25th of December. We are already very tired because of the Christmas party that we had the day before. And we gather around the breakfast table and have breakfast and think what is there to do until the guests are coming. And
there's really, really still a lot to do.
And how do I react to this?
You totally panic.
Yeah, I really freak out.
Yeah.
And I start to work like a maniac on the stuff.
And how do I react?
You you disappear to our office next door.
Yeah, because I have to find the right pictures and to print them out and to cut them out, to edit to one detail of the decoration, to make it perfectly and to be sure that it's the best way you can do that. And what do you think?
And I think about that it's really, it really goes on my nerves, honestly. The house is a mess. And there's no food ready yet, and the guests are going to come soon, and I've no idea how we're going to get this done, and you start printing out little pictures. And what do you think?
I think it's no use and drives everybody crazy. You running through the house, spreading bad mood and stress, and not talking to anybody, that doesn't help at all, and it goes on my nerves.
I really do that. Okay, so what we know from the professional projects that we luckily do is we have some tension here, right? And it's the tension between, maybe call it her perfectionism and my
pragmatism.
Yeah, whatever. And and we need to embrace that somehow. So we take a break. We have a coffee together.
Drink coffee, yeah, that helps.
And then you say.
Yeah, I guess I'm really glad that you take care about the basic stuff of the party and care for getting ready everything till the guests will arrive.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. And you say?
And I say, I actually really like what you're doing. Because that's the stuff that makes the party special and that we're going to remember later and that we're going to tell people about because we think we make such great parties. Right? And yeah, so that's what we do.
So we need both of it, right?
Yeah.
So what we are going to do now?
Well, after having addressed shame in all of this, David the house elf.
Yes. Severus Snape.
We are going to take it away, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, it got a really nice party, and we were driving around our house with our self-crafted Hogwarts train, and
And we really had this amazing Hogwarts castle cake and ate Bertie bought beans.
that tasted totally ugly because they tasted like rotten eggs.
We had a lot of magic through the whole afternoon in our great costumes.
And that magic, how did that happen? How did it get from shame to creative collaboration? It was first we reflected together.
Then we had to build the structure and
The framework that we needed
framework that we
for
needed.
the whole thing. And we also were, what we did,
We had the room to move, to define.
and started to take action.
Yeah. And then the connections were really, really important.
And when tensions arise, we tried to embrace these tensions.
And on the whole way, it's so important to talk about the shame that shows up. Because if you talk about the shame, then you can really, really turn the fear of disconnection into creative collaboration.
So that's it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.